Explaining football to the friend who's just there for the nachos? Hard. Tailgating from home like a pro with snacks and drinks everyone will love? An easy win. And with Instacart helping deliver the snack time MVPs to your door, you're ready for the game in as fast as 30 minutes. So you never miss a play or lose your seat on the couch or have to go head-to-head for the last chicken wing. Shop Game Day Faves on Instacart and enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 grocery orders. Offer valid for a limited time. Other fees and terms apply.
How did you actually sleep last night? If it didn't feel like your very best rest, then you need to upgrade to the softest, most luxurious bedding from Boll & Branch. Their signature sheets are made from the finest 100% organic cotton and get softer with every wash. Millions of sleepers love their sheets, and right now, you can feel the difference for yourself during their biggest sales of the entire year. Hurry to bollandbranch.com to shop their best offers. Limited time only. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
It took a lifetime to find the person you want to marry. Finding the perfect engagement ring is a lot easier. At BlueNile.com, you can find or design the ring you've always dreamed of with help from Blue Nile's jewelry experts who are on hand 24/7 to answer questions, and the ease and convenience of shopping online. For a limited time, get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com. That's $50 off with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com.
Surviving Sister Wives contains adult content that may not be suitable for Latter-day Saints or sinners. Listener discretion is advised.
Hello and welcome to Surviving Sister Wives.
I'm Corey.
And I'm Carly. And this is Seeking Sister Wife, Season 5, Episode 12, Seeking a Common Ground.
Common ground. Is that what we got this episode? Did we get common ground from anyone?
No, quite the opposite, actually.
I don't think so. Yeah, I think we're looking for uneven ground.
No one is seeing eye to eye on pretty much anything. But they're still going to be delusional about the fact that these relationships are going to work out somehow.
It's going great, actually, if I don't think about it too hard.
Basically at all.
I'm choosing to ignore all of the issues, so it feels like we're doing better.
Do you want to do some announcements?
Yeah, I think we've got a couple of things to go over here. So if you're listening to this episode on the release date, it is Monday, May 27th. Good news is you're not going to have to wait too long for the season finale episode. That's going to be releasing on Wednesday, the 29th.
And we're going to be recapping that with Little Miss Recap, Amy and Amanda. We're very excited about it. So you'll be able to listen to that in just a few days. You don't have to wait a whole nother week. And do you know what the best part of that is, Corey?
What is it?
It means that we are returning to our Season 13 rewatch of Sister Wives the following Wednesday.
So we'll be back at it with the Sister Wives recaps. June 5th, we're back on our Wednesday release schedule. And I think that'll get us right into the summer of Season 13 here.
The summer of Sister Wives.
Summer, a renaissance, the Maraissance.
The Maraissance returns on June 5th.
It's not so much a Maraissance anymore. Everyone was worried we wouldn't be able to make fun of this show again, and Mary still comes up with plenty of ways to have us do that.
Thank you, girl.
God bless you.
Doing the Lord's work, giving us content. Speaking of content, if you want to listen to these episodes ad-free, you can do that over at our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod. And we are going to be recapping an episode of Bridgerton for our next Let's Talk About It.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Corey is not as excited about that as I am. But when you don't like things, Corey, it creates a fun dynamic for the episode.
Yeah, it leaves room for some creative revisions that we're able to discuss, or completely non-existent storylines that I fabricate in my own head. Keep things interesting.
Yeah, who's the narrator of the show? Do you remember?
Miss Goosedown Featherbottom? Or something like that. Miss Angel Hair Weathertop? I don't know. It's something ridiculous and absurd. There will be plenty more names to be had on that recap.
I think that's it. We're ready to go back to the episode description.
The TLC description for this one is: the Murrayfields invite a new potential sister wife into their home for the weekend without telling Nathalia. The Davises put their bed to the test when Jasmine comes over for a slumber party, and Yary makes it clear to Justin she just wants him for herself.
I have to put this out there. I know that bed is ridiculously large, but it's not big enough.
Is it reinforced? I feel like the structural integrity of that, just the span that you go into, there's like architectural considerations, engineering.
How many bed frames are holding it up?
There's a lot of, it's like building a suspension bridge.
But it's not big enough for 5 people. It's starting to get small.
Here's what's crazy. I don't think they're stopping at 5. They're
going to need to expand this bed.
How are you going to expand the bed? It seemed like there was okay amount of room. And then once everybody gets down to like twin size, that they're all on top of each other and rolling around, that's when they're going to need to readdress the situation here with more bed. But we'll get to it in the slumber party. In the meantime, Carly's got the episode rewrite description for us.
Operation Neutralize, not Naturalize, Nathalia goes into full effect when Dannielle invites a friend to visit. Yary soft launches Justin and Becky's divorce. Danielle Davis starts to regret her first season out on the marriage mart.
I don't know if that was a soft launch for the divorce. I think Justin's reconsidering a couple of things, but we'll talk about it.
Should we start there?
Oh, yeah, sure.
All right, let's go ahead with the Ryan family then.
Justin is here to pressure Yary into a relationship today. That's the main goal.
Could you believe when he said that they're growing tired of waiting for her to commit? When in the last episode, when they went out to dinner with Becky was like, don't worry, Yary. We're very patient people. So if it takes you some time to wrap your head around this type of relationship, that's cool with us.
That feels like mixed signals at best, if not completely misleading, like their dating profile.
That they want us to believe was Yary's problem for not reading correctly.
I think it's a translation issue. She didn't read all the way to the bottom because we put it in 6-point font all the way at the bottom, fine print. It was actually in the terms and conditions that she agreed to when she visited our profile. She checked on that box. But yeah, they're not interested in endless dating. That's not an option here. They're looking for the commitment.
And they're going right back to their old tactics. It seemed like when they were dating Stephanie, they would just buy her things to try to get her to commit to them again. And so Justin throws out the idea of them going on a vacation together.
Well, I think, it kind of started off as a complaint from Yary where she was talking about how she doesn't get to see him enough because he's always spending time with his family. And then he starts rattling off all these different vacations that they have planned that Yary's not invited to.
I think he was pitching it of you can come on vacation with us.
Except for this one. This one's for like the real family. And well, you'd be allowed to come on vacation if we were in a committed relationship.
Exactly. Dangling a carrot in front of her of like, if you want this, you just have to do this.
What I would love Justin to do is to stop talking with his mouth full of food. And I mean, I get it. Reality TV, if you're out for a meal, I guess he didn't get that Housewives memo where most of the time if you're out for a meal, you're not out to eat the food.
No, you ate beforehand. The food is just here for visual effect.
It's a prop to fit the scene that you're in. But no, Justin's shoveling it in and he is just yapping and
spitting tortilla chips all over the place.
It's a problem. It's distracting at this point.
Yary was not into the idea of the vacation. Not when she found out that Becky would be on this vacation too.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to go on vacation with Becky either. You know what it was? I think when we were talking about how she looked for the date on the last episode, how Becky was dressed, the dress still seemed weird on her. I don't think the dress was the issue. I think her hair is the issue.
Oh, do you think that's what it is?
It's no matter what you're doing with the rest of you, her hair always looks like
it's aging her.
It's just slicked to her head. It's stuck on her. There's no free flowing
Lego
motion.
Hair.
There's a lot of Lego hair, but flat too. So there's no body to it. It doesn't.
It's not voluminous enough.
Yeah, maybe I'm just used to East Coast hair. Spray and tease. A little more body, a little more volume.
I don't know. I will say I couldn't handle Becky on a regular day, never mind vacation Becky. How insufferable must vacation Becky's personality be?
I feel like she would get really attached to someone on vacation.
She thinks she's a lot of fun, but she's not. And it's the same with the clothes. That's what the clothes reflect. They look fun until she puts them on.
I'm telling you, it's the hair. She needs to bump it. She needs something. Give it some depth.
Okay. We have gone off the rails.
It was still bothering me. It was lingering on my mind. I needed to address it.
We didn't even see her on this date.
I know. It's still burned into my memory from the last episode.
The big problem here, like you already said, is Justin's not making enough time for Yary. And that's the whole point of contention in this conversation. And Justin's like, well, I know a way that we can fix that. You just have to say you're committed to me, and then you'll get to spend more time with me. That's how it works.
But that's weird.
Yeah, it is weird. That's why these relationships don't work out. They push people to get into a very serious relationship before they actually get a chance to know you.
Because they know. Justin knows. If I let her know who I am, if I have her spend too much time with Becky, she's going to be running for the door. So we have to lure her in. We have to get her invested, overly invested. So then that way she feels trapped and stuck and committed. She doesn't want to leave. She doesn't feel like there's an option to leave because there is a commitment.
I think with Stephanie, the reason they were successful in that was because Becky and Stephanie had a relationship. And so they don't know how to navigate this because Yary wants nothing to do with Becky. And Becky was really the bridge between Stephanie and Justin when there would be problems, where she would be the fixer. And that's not really working in this dynamic.
Well, especially when you have Yary who's asking Justin, does Becky need to be involved in all of this stuff? Do we really need to do things all together? Can I just get you to myself? I like you. Can I get you to myself? And it's like, oh, that's not how polygamy works, though. That sounds a lot like monogamy.
It's pretty clear that the direction this has gone is that Yary is hoping that at some point Becky and Justin will just break up and she'll get to be with Justin.
Justin is starting to suspect by this line of questioning from Yary, maybe this isn't going to work out.
What did you think about that? Because I feel like this is the point of the date where he probably should have just stopped things and explained that if that's the hope that she has, that's not how things are going to turn out. So maybe they should just cut to the chase and break up now.
Well, no, he'll just string her along as a backup then. If they do hit too much of a dead end anywhere else, they can always call Yary to just keep that alive. You have to keep your options open and available. But I did like that Yary threw the scenario at him that all polygamous men love to hear, which is, well, how would you feel if I was dating multiple men? Not so good. The feeling is mutual because as a woman, Yary feels those same things where, yeah, not into that. The thought of that alone sickens me, as some people would say.
The problem is, though, that she found them on a dating app and they supposedly were upfront about the fact that this is what they're looking for out of a relationship. But maybe that'll change with time. She just needs to spend more time with Justin and then potentially she'll come around to the whole polygamy thing.
Well, it seems, yeah, it's the rushing. That's the problem with Yary, which she was assured multiple times, like you said, by Becky last episode. Don't you worry. Take your time. And that was the assurance that was given. And that is not what we're hearing this episode.
The camera crew questioned Justin about that when they were outside of the restaurant. And he clarifies he's not in a rush to get a commitment from Yary. They're in a rush to get a commitment from anybody, which was perhaps the most embarrassing and depressing thing for him to have said with such a straight face and so much confidence behind it.
Not Yary. Somebody. Anybody.
Anybody. Literally anyone at this point. We're, like you said, she's the backup. And we'll just keep seeking in the meantime.
I'll string her along. We'll keep dating other people. If somebody's willing to jump in and commit, the sooner the better for Justin and Becky.
And that's where we leave them this episode. I'm sorry, that was hilarious. We just want a commitment from anybody.
Yeah.
How did you actually sleep last night? If it didn't feel like your very best rest, then you need to upgrade to the softest, most luxurious bedding from Boll and Branch. Their signature sheets are made from the finest 100% organic cotton and get softer with every wash. Millions of sleepers love their sheets, and right now, you can feel the difference for yourself during their biggest sales of the entire year. Hurry to bollandbranch.com to shop their best offers. Limited time only. Exclusions apply. See site for details.
It took a lifetime to find the person you want to marry. Finding the perfect engagement ring is a lot easier. At BlueNile.com, you can find or design the ring you've always dreamed of with help from Blue Nile's jewelry experts who are on hand 24/7 to answer questions, and the ease and convenience of shopping online. For a limited time, get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com. That's $50 off with code LISTEN at BlueNile.com.
Hi, this is Jonathan Fields, host of The Good Life Project, where each week I talk to listeners about investing in their future by increasing their own vitality. But when it comes to those financial goals, whether it be saving for a home renovation, growing your child's college fund, or travel, life can make it difficult to stay the course. By working with a dedicated Merrill advisor, you get a personalized plan and a clear path forward. Having the bull at your back helps your whole financial life move with you. So when your plans change, Merrill's with you every step of the way. Go to ml.com/bullish to learn more. Merrill, a Bank of America company. What would you like the power to do? Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, member SIPC.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous two-year contracts, they said, what the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass f- So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Would you like to visit the Davises?
Well, not for a sleepover or anything, but maybe I'd probably hang out with them for dinner or something.
You do have to lay in their bed if you go over to their house.
Well, it would be rude not to just jump face first into their bed.
All right, we have to talk about some of the stuff that has come out since the last episode aired. There are pictures floating around on the internet now where Jasmine appears to be interacting with the Davises way, way long ago, long before they even married Dannielle. So they're being disingenuous when they're acting like they don't know Jasmine at all, and they've just been getting to know her on these dates. They do know her to some extent. How do you feel about that? Do you feel betrayed by production or the Davis family?
No more than usual. This is probably pretty baseline for me. Maybe it was another timeline, an alternate timeline. Perhaps it was one of Jasmine's otherworldly, out-of-body experiences that she had, and that's where these photos have materialized from, since she's not of this world. She's just merely a visitor passing through this blue plane of existence. Were you not ready for that sort of answer?
I wasn't ready for that.
Yeah,
I feel like you really channeled her.
Yeah, it's something. Something happened. Something knocked loose.
I guess we don't really know what the context behind those pictures is, but maybe she was a failed relationship at some point that now they're bringing her back in to see if it could work long term. Maybe they just needed someone to film with to create content for this season, because the rest of the season was just staring at each other and waiting for Dannielle to make up her mind about if they were okay to start dating again.
Maybe she wasn't a good third, but she was a better fourth, depending on how they wanted to order these. A better fit for Dannielle as a partner.
Well, Dannielle is nobody's partner right now. I mean, she's Nick's partner, but...
Well, yeah, and then they're trying to force this Jasmine situation onto her.
Or are they? Let's talk about it.
Kind of are, yeah.
We open, and they are building a charcuterie board together, or a charcuterie board.
I'm sorry, yeah. Did you mean... charcuterie board? Because I think that's what you meant to say.
That's what it is in the Davis household, for sure.
That's the legal term. They're preparing for a sleepover weekend that is much anticipated.
Now that we know that they have some type of past relationship, the speed of this does make a little bit more sense. because we went from playing Jenga with Jasmine to Nick going on the carriage ride with her to now they're having a sleepover weekend. Perhaps they do this on a more frequent basis than we are meant to believe.
Danielle's nervous about it. This is a big step. She kind of seemed like she was on board for it. And then now maybe she's having second thoughts because it's actually happening.
She really didn't have much of a choice because Nick already invited Jasmine.
It happened.
And then he ran it by her and was like, you good with that? She's coming this weekend. Corey is twitching his eye. I know you all can't see it.
And I think, in this latest episode, I was like, oh, so Danielle kind of reminds me of, remember those dolls where if you lay them down and then they close their eyes like they're going to sleep, but then sometimes after a certain amount of time, the eye starts to kind of go, where even when they stand up straight, it's kind of halfway,
closed, half open.
Yeah, it's kind of a halfway situation there. And it's kind of, that's what's going on with Danielle. She's kind of one of those dolls. The eye's just not really staying open like it used to.
It's the weight of the false eyelashes.
It's a lot going on.
I love that she must have like 85 pairs of fake eyelashes and she does not know which ones are the sets anymore. So she just pulls 2 random strips out and puts them on her eyes, and sometimes they don't match.
That's okay. I haven't noticed. I mean, I noticed.
You haven't noticed?
Well, I mean, I know what's going on. When the eye is struggling to hold the weight of the lash, that is when I notice.
She has to take a wife. That's the way this relationship is arranged. It's a carefully crafted power dynamic, and they cannot disrupt it.
It's a delicate ecosystem. So we're going to get ready with some hot tub foreplay and have a nice little conversation on the deck. I
am sorry. Oh, okay. I thought you were going to skip over this conversation.
No,
I almost had a heart attack.
This is priming you up and getting you ready for the hot tub because they really have to lean into the whole swinger identity and jump everybody into a hot tub at some point.
That's what it feels like.
They're playing up on some stereotypes here.
Because right away, the first thing that April talks to her about is sleeping in the big bed with them. That feels like maybe an end of night conversation, not the first thing you talk to someone about after they sat down. They haven't even had a piece of charcuterie board yet. Charcuterie board? I can't say it.
Did we explain charcuterie board?
No.
Or is this just that wasn't like Carly's mom has referred to charcuterie boards in the past as charcuterie boards. Not intentionally. That just sort of happened. That was Thanksgiving, I think, was the last charcuterie board incident. So it's not something that we're saying to disparage the Davis family directly. It's just a running joke in our house. Just for context.
I got to tell you, I really want to have my mom come on an episode and try to recap something.
Oof. Yeah, remember when we were watching Game of Thrones and I would try and catch up with her in between seasons? That was tricky.
She's watching a totally different show.
I don't know what show she
was watching.
Remember
that when she thought Joffrey was coming back from the dead?
Yep, he's going to be back and worse than ever, I believe, was the text that we received that night. Oh, you go back and watch it. You missed something big. You missed something big. He was laying dead on the slab on the table, dead as a doornail. She thought he was coming back. Nope.
Oh my God, my stomach hurts. Where do we leave these people? Okay, the bed.
Well, no. So they were talking outside on the deck.
Right, talking about where Jasmine's going to sleep tonight.
Well, see, I thought you were skipping the deck conversation going right to the bed scene. See, there's
not on the same page right now.
There's bed, there's hot tub. We're on the deck right now, though. So we're going to warm things up with some drinks. Well, some of us are going to have some drinks.
I guess Jasmine doesn't drink because she was having water when they went out, when just her and Nick went out the other night.
And
no judgment. She's got to keep her wits about her around this family.
Yeah, be careful. And I would prefer to have like a sealed can that I would open in most of these situations.
True. Also, I don't think alcohol is Jasmine's thing.
Right.
She has other vices.
Yeah, she already hit the vape a couple of times before she came in here. And that edible is starting to kick in a little bit as we find out. But no, what was she drinking? Mountain Dew? It was a very neon.
Yeah, it was something
glass
weird.
Or something.
Maybe it was Mountain Dew.
Something.
Mountain Dew and a Red Bull.
Mixed together.
That feels like her energy.
Yeah.
She felt compelled to give them an answer as to where she was going to sleep right then and there. Don't you feel like you would have felt that out a little bit throughout the night, see how creepy maybe things are getting, and then decide if you're going to sleep in another room?
I don't think that was even an option. That wasn't proposed.
Yeah, she was like, there are other places you can sleep.
Okay.
April said that, but she led with sleeping in the bed with them.
But when Nick had invited her over for a sleepover, I feel like the implication was sleeping in the bed with us, maybe doing some other stuff.
100%. They thought that's what was going down during this. What was the weird conversation that Nick was trying to make about, I'm glad that you don't have any food allergies?
Yeah, who was that a dig at?
Is that a requirement? That's something that you look for in a potential sister wife? How many food allergies they potentially have?
Maybe Nick is the type of guy, he loves to just have plates of nuts all around the house, and then he doesn't want to have to change that part of who he is. That's his lifestyle that he likes to maintain.
It was such a weird conversation point. Well, perhaps now that we know that this could be all fabricated.
Well,
maybe this was a leading comment to get us into the story that Jasmine then tells.
Because, about how she can't eat lamb. That's the only dietary restriction that she has, and that's just a personal choice because she used to work in a pet food processing plant and would end up covered in lamb body parts and blood by the end of the shift. So she can't really eat lamb anymore.
No. She would break out into hives from the blood.
So she was allergic.
That's how she knows or how she claims she knows she's allergic.
I thought it was just a mental block thing.
No, there was an allergy associated here.
Maybe there's other things in there too. Maybe it's just a general problem with a lot of blood getting on your skin.
Okay, it's too much to think about. You could have just left it at, I used to have a job where I had to interact with lamb.
No, that's too vague because I'd be asking questions. I would need clarity on that. That's not descriptive enough. Well, I like how Dannielle was just like, let's not just draw the line at lamb's blood. Let's go ahead and draw the line at all blood. No blood, please.
How did you feel about their interaction? Because first Jasmine said, let's stay away from the lamb's blood. And Tiana was like, I second that. Let's stay away from all blood.
All the blood.
I felt like they were vibing a little bit.
They're getting along. I mean, it's not disagreeable.
I have questions.
They're suspicious. I feel like Danielle's still apprehensive, though.
I don't know if I believe any of it anymore. I would have had a very, very different set of thoughts if I had never seen those pictures of them together back in 2021.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Miss Featherbottom.
It seems like Jasmine is here for her own personal gain. She doesn't seem that into them, but she's into what they could provide her. So we've got a Robin Brown situation here because she's looking for childcare.
Typical fourth wife scenario. It's not unusual. It's very familiar.
There have not been enough negatives yet to outweigh the positive benefit of having other people to help support her child with her.
And Dannielle just looks so sad. So sad every time they cut to her. And not so much in the conversation of what's happening in the backyard here at this point. It's just on the couch interview segments where they have their asides with the producer. And anytime you see Dannielle, she's kind of staring off and just looks very disturbed with what's going on.
Is that her default, though? I get the feeling that if they're sitting on the couch for a very long period of time talking, Dannielle zones out if she's not the one who has to answer a question.
Yeah, so maybe they're just using that to the editorial advantage.
You know, some people are gold to get reactions from. That's how shows like The Bachelor get made, where they make you stand for hours and hours and wait to hear your name get called. By the way, that's how those things get made. It's not a quick half-hour-long rose ceremony. They force you to stand and wait for hours so that they can get facial reactions from you. And she would make their job a lot easier.
It's true.
She emotes a lot.
And that is helpful in the long run. But as for this date, we have to lay some ground rules. What are the ground rules that we have here? First rule.
There are no rules.
There are no rules. So we're off to a good start. But then the second rule is no sex.
So there is a rule. So a pretty big rule.
This seems, again, conflicting information, contradictory statements that are happening here from multiple families on this show.
Did they tell Jasmine that? I don't know that she feels safe enough. I don't know that the no sex thing was communicated to her. Maybe that was like an afterthought after they saw how the date actually went.
Nick had to say it was off the table because it didn't end up happening. So he had to save face.
They show her the big bed and she jumps on top of it. She is face down, ass up.
Oh, dear. I know, depending on where you land, you could get pink eye in this bed. Be careful. Diving face first into this bed. We know Nick brought Dannielle up here to knock her out the other night.
Do you think they washed the sheets before they had a sleepover? I would have to watch them make the bed. I would need to watch them pull the sheets out of the dryer and put them on the bed.
I don't want to think about what would go into changing the sheets on that bed. I really don't.
You probably need an industrial size washing machine and dryer in order to clean everything. So if they don't have that, perhaps the sheets are not washed frequently enough.
I don't know why I could see Jennifer like hand washing them in an old timey bucket. Like
taking them out to line dry.
Like with the washboard where she's just like scrubbing them with a rock.
She's got a pioneer look about her.
Doesn't she? Got a bonnet on her.
Built for hard work.
Little house on the prairie.
Yes, she's got that. She's got that feeling about her. Did you think it was odd that they showed her the bed? But then they're not going to bed. It's not time to put your jammies on. It's time to go into the hot tub.
Yeah, so we're going to take this hot tub time machine for a spin, right?
Yeah. Oh, the story behind hot tub time machine. I thought it was a movie called Click.
Carly, there are so many movies that you think are Hot Tub Time Machine that are fucking not Hot Tub Time Machine. And it'll be on TV, we'll be watching it, and you'll go, is this Hot Tub Time Machine? No!
I've never seen it.
Where do you see a hot tub anywhere? The hot tub is in the name of the movie. It's not here. I
felt like there was a remote that was a big part of the hot tub time machine story.
No, there's no remote. Remote is Click. Click is a movie. That's a different movie.
We watched that, and I kept saying, where's the hot tub?
You thought it was Hot Tub Time Machine. It was not Hot Tub Time Machine.
Look, there are very few things that I confuse on a regular basis. That's one of them.
I'd say that's a big one. Yeah, that counts for a couple different things. But anyway, they're jumping in the hot tub, hopefully staying in this timeline with Jasmine. I don't know. Maybe there is interdimensional travel that she's coercing them into the hot tub with. They think that they're getting her into the hot tub, but actually she's getting them into the hot tub. Ulterior motives.
I didn't think she wanted to be here. There were a lot of shots where she looked very uncomfortable.
Well, they probably didn't know what to talk about. She was just kind of swirling around with the rest of everybody in there. So she came up with a game. She proposes a game to play. Is it a game? Is this a game?
No, there's no gamified aspect of it. It's just, I'm going to ask you questions and you answer them.
First question, what is your favorite color?
Well, the catch is you have to give meaningful answers. Her example is that her favorite color is blue because she loves blue in every form that she's ever encountered it in. And then she talks about how it's mysterious when you think about how the ocean is deep blue. That color is just mysterious.
I don't know. It felt more like this is a 3-question game that she came up with in her head, but it feels more like the guy from Monty Python and the Holy Grail who's guarding the bridge, where he's just asking them, what's your name? What's your quest? What's the airspeed velocity of a swallow? Those were the 3
You've
questions.
Lost me.
Yeah, I know. But there's somebody out there who got that. It felt like this was the game. There is no game.
No one actually likes talking to her.
Well, I like how Danielle's approach was, if we're in the hot tub, don't ask me what my favorite color is. Ask better questions. If you have a 3-question game in a hot tub with people who are all horned up that you're here for the weekend, maybe don't start by asking people what their favorite color is.
They wanted to play Truth or Dare, and she cut them off. Forget that. I'm going to play a game where we ask each other really lame questions.
Question number 2, what's your favorite form of water? Carly, what's your favorite form of water? No pressure.
I don't know. What do you mean? Form of water?
Easy answer. Snow cone.
Okay.
Because you get 2. You get the ice form, shaved ice, and you get a sweetened flavored version.
Did she ask that question or you just made that up?
That was literally the second question that she asked.
That was the second question?
Your favorite form of water. I don't know if she just got on an association kick where she started talking about the depth of the ocean.
She was looking around. This is the only stuff that's around her. She's in a blue hot tub. There's blue water.
There's blue balls.
There's going to be a lot of blue balls. I'm hearing that at some point Dannielle was stroking her back, but not her own back, Jasmine's back. I didn't see that. I didn't catch it. But Danielle's making every effort to be like, girl, stop talking about stupid shit. That's not what we do in the hot tub.
Yeah, we do different things in the hot tub. I'd like to do different things in the hot tub.
Wouldn't that make you be like, we gotta get out of here?
I don't know.
What happens? How much chlorine is in this hot tub?
Yeah, I don't know if all of our Dannielles are looking to go explore a little bit more on this show.
Maybe.
Double N, Double L was trying to smooch Nathalia in Mexico, and now we've got Dannielle in the hot tub rubbing her back. One thing leads to another, perhaps. In the hot tub, anything goes. There are no rules except no sex, for now.
Hey, there's a lot of other things in between.
There's a lot of other forms of water between no rules and no sex.
Maybe she is just there for Dannielle because she was really turned off by Nick kissing her on the cheek.
There was a recoil moment.
Yeah, she did not enjoy it.
Well, maybe it was because he had just kissed April, or it was Jennifer. I can't remember who was on that side. He had just kissed another wife, and then he went over and smooched Jasmine on the cheek, which she wasn't that into. There was a reaction.
It makes you wonder.
But the third and final question, most important, what's your favorite animal?
I had to roll my eyes so hard because Nick obviously has picked up on how to play Jasmine. And he answers the spider because female spiders are larger than male spiders, and that really embodies the significance they have to their species.
I felt like it was an insult to every woman in the tub.
Oh, that's not nice.
It was out of line.
I don't like it. I don't like it, mister.
It was a bold move.
It was giving my family is a pride, not a wolf pack.
Because he had the inside line on what that answer was on the wife date.
He's either been asked this question before or he's been prepared to answer something like this, knowing what Jasmine is like.
So now that we're bored out of our minds in the hot tub, I think we've lulled ourselves to sleep with how boring it is out here. Let's go ahead and switch gears and get ready for bedtime. But first, Nick is going to check in with Dannielle one-on-one in the hot tub. Let everybody else go inside real quick and just level set. Hey, how you feeling? How you doing? I know you seem to be going along with all of this, but are you really okay with it still?
I'm getting really tired of watching them continually question her of if she is being genuine in the way she's reacting to situations in the moment or if she actually has a problem with it.
Well, I think it's okay to have these moments as little checkpoints to say, hey, is this okay?
I think that's fine. I, as a viewer, am just tired of watching it.
Right. And just because you film it doesn't mean you need to air it. That's the other note. But I think the problem that I'm having is if Dannielle had said, yeah, I'm not really feeling it, would we have pulled the plug on this?
No.
No, she already had her bags packed. She already jumped on the bed. She already did all this stuff. She was in the hot tub, so we got to get something out of this. It seems to be the approach.
They would have finished the evening no matter what.
So I have concerns where if Dannielle had voiced an opinion that was contrary to what everyone else was feeling, how are we approaching those situations? Because Dannielle is still going along with all of this, even though we didn't see it at the end of this episode. Come on. We know she's going to say, yeah, it's great. Let's go sleep in the bed all together. What did you think about the order, the arrangement that they lined up with? Do you think that's going to work out?
I can't remember. It was
I think
Jasmine, and then, so Nick was in the middle, and then I really only paid attention to who was laying next to him.
Oh, so, well, from left to right, it would be...
Was it Dannielle?
It was April on the end, and then it was Dannielle. Nick would be in the middle, then Jasmine, then Jennifer.
It was telling, the lineup.
We had the
newest in the middle.
Newest in the middle, older wives on the outside.
I would have wanted to lay on the outside if I was Jasmine, because what if you decide in the middle of the night, this is not a place that I want to spend the rest of the evening, and you need to duck out? It's going to be hard to get out of there.
I feel like being on the end, though, you run a risk because...
You can get pushed out?
you could have that. That is a very real possibility that could be happening that evening, especially if you have someone who's right in the middle who starts leaning, rolling over, and then that closes the gap between you and the next person.
There's going to be a domino effect.
And you got two people who are kind of forcing you out of the bed, not just one person. That could be a big problem. Stuff you got to think about. I need a boundary. I need that edge, though.
You need to sleep on the edge of the bed?
I have to.
You know, get you a little, one of those little toddler barriers so that you can't roll off the bed.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, I just feel like it's no man's land in the middle there. There's no definition of where the bed begins and ends, where your space is. You're under a cover. I can't kick my leg out.
That would be a problem for me. I'd get too hot.
Yeah, I'd be overcooked in the middle.
All right, we've exhausted our feelings about the bed.
Well, we discussed it more than they did.
That's for sure. The Merrifields, the cream of the crop, the best of the best. This is the opposite note, producers. If you filmed it, air it. More
of the Merrifields, please.
Marrying the Merrifields.
We can't get enough.
We need it to be coming to a TV screen near us, a streaming service, anything, please. Dannielle is enjoying her geriatric pregnancy. She is very distraught to find out that because she's 35, that's what they're calling it. I think that they're moving away from that language.
Because that's becoming more common now?
Yeah, and it's a little offensive. Geriatric pregnancy.
Well, I remember when type 2 diabetes used to be called adult onset diabetes. But then we had to change that verbiage too.
Okay.
So what I'm getting at is I don't think medical descriptions are really ones that take a lot of people's feelings into consideration most of the time.
Well, she's here changing the world of pregnancy for us. And she can enjoy that pregnancy because her husband is safe at home in Colorado, far, far, far away from a bird of number 2.
From Sao Paulo, Brazil. But they're perpetually in the airport in Colorado.
I did not like this because they're trying to tease us. They're talking about how they've started the K-1 visa process for Nathalia, and then we see them waiting at the airport. So the assumption is that Nathalia must be coming to visit them because that's who they're talking about as they're showing us this footage of them waiting for someone to get off of a plane.
Oh, you know what real gem they threw up there on the screen was the photo of Garrick and Nathalia, where Garrick was in full cowboy garb.
I did not see this.
I wasn't ready for that, but boy, they put that up on the screen, and it was a sight to see.
Oh, I'm going to have to go back and watch because I'm sad I missed that.
Yeah, we're going to need a screenshot of that.
Are they here for Nathalia? Of course not.
No, we've got other plans on the horizon here because Dannielle just so happened to meet someone online.
She was cooking up a baby, but she was also cooking up a plot to get rid of another sister wife. That's what she's been busy doing.
That's their formula. That is, Garrick gets horny for a wife. They bring in the sister wife, and then Dannielle recruits a third to kick them both out. And that's been the cycle so far.
A tried and true recipe in the past. So we're gonna pull this one off of the shelf and test it out again.
It's all happening.
Today we're here to meet Miriam. This is someone who reached out to them online, and they will never just not respond to someone who's interested in their family because they're always seeking. They're open to other relationships.
They're so open and inviting and welcoming. They're not just going to turn people down. They got 15 apps. They can't shut these things down.
Even though they know Nathalia is not okay with them doing this, they went ahead and befriended Miriam, or at least Dannielle did.
What Nathalia don't know won't hurt her because they told her that they were befriending Miriam, and Nathalia didn't really like that. So she kind of shut down. She's ignoring it. She's not thinking about it, doesn't want to address it.
I don't believe that. I think she flipped out.
I would say, yeah, she probably shut down because she's upset, and they probably know she's upset, but then they're refusing to acknowledge that she's upset about it because they're like, well, this is what you got into. You're a sister wife now.
It does seem like how much attention does Garrick have to share? If he's got Dannielle, Dannielle's pregnant, they're going to have a baby soon. That's going to take up a lot of your time. You're in a long-distance relationship with this person. You don't know how long it's going to take you to get your visa to come over to the United States. And now they're busy getting to know someone else.
So that's upsetting for Nathalia. But she didn't want to hear more about Miriam, so they made sure to exclude all the information that Miriam was going to be coming for a visit here to stay at their house.
And Dannielle has strategically handpicked Miriam, in my opinion. She's from Michigan. We don't have to travel internationally. She speaks English. So this is an easier relationship for Dannielle to bond with her. Her mother had a sister wife, so she is familiar with the lifestyle.
She's Muslim.
Did you just say that with an accent?
She's Miriam, the Michigan Muslim. So Miriam's experience with polygamy has been through the religion of Islam.
Or Muslim.
I think...
Prepare.
Oh boy.
Prepare yourselves for the impending conversation in this episode.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that. But okay.
Things have been going very, very well between Dannielle and Miriam.
Of course they have. That was how Dannielle designed it. And they're really excited about getting this taste of full-on sister-wifedom that they've been preparing their household for all this time.
It is bizarre when you think about the fact that he has been engaged repeatedly to other women, but they've never actually had said woman stay with them in their house.
Yeah, it's almost like he's just a fuckboy sex tourist who cheats on his wife with her permission.
On vacation, and then goes home. It does seem like that.
Looking at the evidence, that tends to be the story that is being told instead of living polygamy in a religious aspect.
They got this sister bedroom just waiting for someone to occupy it, and they're going to get to test it all out this weekend.
Seems like Danielle's been spending a lot of time in sister room. That was where she dropped her baby announcement on us.
Was it? I thought
was that the bed?
No, that was Garrick and Danielle's bedroom.
Oh, okay. They just look very similar.
And like there's too much aesthetic variation in that house.
Sounds about right.
This is a test run of not only the house, but of Miriam. Is she just a friend, or could she maybe join their family in the future? Maybe wife number 3.
So I'll tell you where it already went off the rails for me was when Miriam's coming through airport security. She's coming around the corner there. Garrick and Dannielle are picking her up, and Dannielle sees her from afar and says, "Look how cute she is. She's like a doll."
I just think she's really trying to sell it hard to Garrick.
I don't think Garrick needs any help with
Getting hard?
Getting hard. Especially not from Dannielle. By his own preference.
I didn't think when they were talking about Miriam that Garrick seemed excited about this. It felt like last season when they had brought that other, I don't even remember who the other woman was.
It was the wedge.
Yeah, they went to meet another person and he was not really that into the whole thing. Dannielle was more so into it. But when he saw her get off the plane, all of a sudden he got very excited.
Well, because that's the thing is Garrick picks the first one and then Dannielle blows it up with her second pick. So that's usually been the system that we've operated in. And you can tell Dannielle is so happy that Miriam is here. She is hugging her repeatedly, just so thankful that she's here to push Nathalia out of this equation now.
They're getting real handsy, real close. She's letting her touch the baby belly in the car. I had a laugh at the part where she said the baby stops moving when Garrick touches her belly.
Yeah, recoils.
The baby knows.
The baby's getting the ick. In the womb. Well, I also made note how Miriam had her hoop earrings in, too, for her interviews. So I don't know. She didn't get that memo from Dannielle that hoop earrings are her thing.
Okay.
But if there is ever a confrontation, boy, what a confrontation that would be.
They will share hoops. Dannielle is very excited about Miriam. This is finally a bestie here for her, who is also going to help her eliminate Nathalia.
God will let them know. They'll probably have to spend some time in the garage, wait for the wind to blow, to see if she is supposed to be a sister wife.
And if that's what they hear from God, it does not matter what Nathalia thinks. She's going to have to just get over it. She has no choice in the matter. What?
So that's when Dannielle looks at the camera and goes,
She did. She smirked. She full on smirked at the camera.
She knows what the game is, because if she can convince Garrick that God told him that Miriam should be a wife, and Nathalia says, "Nuh-uh, I don't like that," then that means by default, Nathalia should not be a wife. So then why was God telling you to fuck her in Mexico, Garrick? That's weird, isn't it?
I mean, everything about this is weird.
I got embarrassed when they were doing the house tour, and we did get a glimpse of some of Danielle's lacy bras that were hanging up in the closet.
Really?
Yep, we walked right through that.
Wow, you saw a lot more than I did.
It was, well, we did our notes separately, so I think it was a little more
You're
zoned
focused
in.
on the lacy bras, huh?
Well, it's different.
Eyes went right to them.
It's a different experience. It was when they were going into the bathroom, and they were talking about Garrick's tub. So I had to take in anything in the scene here to keep me from visualizing Garrick in a tub. So that was when I noticed that.
He's going to replace that thing, because when Miriam said, "Oh, it's only big enough for one person," his eyes got real big.
Yeah, that got the wheels turning. He's ready for a remodel, a little DIY.
I think they fixed their sign.
Nope, it was missing more letters.
It was missing letters, but I think that they made it. I think they changed. Did they change the spelling so it looked more like anchored? I know there's no E.
No, yeah, there's more letters missing from the word now.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Some more fell off.
Less sense.
I noticed it was very spaced out. Maybe we just go buy another pack of letters.
Much like Garrick, very spaced out.
The high stakes this episode are that Sam and Samantha are going to come over to meet Miriam.
The Sams are going to grill Miriam.
Garrick was like, "They're the bad cops. We're the good cops."
Well, no, her parents are the good cops.
Oh, the parents are the good cops.
Well, they are kind of like a mom and dad to Miriam right now. A little bit. Kind of weird.
They're the bad cops because they're the only ones who question anything that Garrick and Dannielle do. Maybe that's a bad idea.
The realistic cops.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about we live in reality? I hate to say that because we're going to have a conversation where I'm not really so sure what reality we live in.
I don't know if they were the most qualified people to speak with her first. But this is what we got. This is who signed the release to TLC earlier this season anyway.
Adding to the craziness, though, this is the first time they've met one of the sister wives, potential sister wives, that Garrick and Dannielle have dated.
Right. She's the only one who doesn't need a green card. She's stateside. She's domestic. And she's homely and polite.
Homely?
I don't know why that was the first word that came to mind. She brought baklava. That's what I'm getting at.
Yum.
But also diabolical.
Diabolical. Tell me more.
To offer this to these people who clearly have never had baklava before.
No, they've never eaten anything that originated in any other culture.
No, they've never heard of it. If you can't get it at Chick-fil-A, they're not interested.
They did try it. Samantha tried it over the box, the open box, no plate, no nothing, no napkin.
Which, if you don't know, it's a very flaky pastry, so it gets everywhere.
Pieces, parts fly, all kinds of places.
So it's not, if you're eating it over the box, that's your box now. Or it should be. I don't think that's how they approached it, though.
They did approve of it.
Yeah, of course, it's delicious.
But this opens up the conversation of talking a little bit more about her background. So Miriam tells them that she's from a big Middle Eastern family and a big Middle Eastern community in Michigan. And that is the first thing that confuses them. Because if you haven't caught on, Garrick and Dannielle and their family, they're kind of big on Christianity.
Even though they don't have enough letters for that Bible verse, they're pretty big on the Word of God. But the Judeo-Christian Word of God, no other Abrahamic religions. Do you think that they even know that they're related religions?
No.
Probably not.
No, they don't seem to know very much about the wider world outside of Colorado.
Because Miriam has to explain, yes, Islam is a very beautiful religion. You greet people with peace. Not as extreme as the portrayals are that you often interact with. There's extremism in every religion.
Say Christianity.
Not every church is the Westboro Baptist Church, is it not?
This Halloween, ghoul all out with Instacart. Whether you're hunting for the perfect costume, eyeing that giant bag of candy, or casting spells with eerie decor, we've got it all in one place. Download the Instacart app and get delivery in as fast as 30 minutes. Plus, enjoy $0 delivery fees on your first 3 orders. Offer valid for a limited time, minimum $10 per order, service fees, other fees, and additional terms apply. Instacart, bringing the store to your door this Halloween.
Hi, this is Farnoosh Tarabi, host of the Webby-winning podcast, So Money. If you're aiming for a goal, be it saving for a house, growing your family, or retiring, life makes it difficult to stay the course. But with a dedicated Merrill advisor, you get a personalized plan and a clear path forward. Having the bull at your back helps your whole financial life move with you. So when your plans change, Merrill's with you every step of the way. Go to ml.com/bullish to learn more. Merrill, a Bank of America company. What would you like the power to do? Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, member SIPC.
Hey, I'm Ryan Reynolds. Recently, I asked Mint Mobile's legal team if big wireless companies are allowed to raise prices due to inflation. They said yes. And then when I asked if raising prices technically violates those onerous 2-year contracts, they said, "What the f*** are you talking about, you insane Hollywood ass?" So to recap, we're cutting the price of Mint Unlimited from $30 a month to just $15 a month. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
The highlight of this conversation for me was when Samantha questions, well, what are you looking for? Because things seem to be a little off to her, right? We're a little mismatched. And she says, whatever God is going to give her. And I thought, touche, Garrick has met his match, because that is a Garrick-approved answer.
And honestly, I could see Garrick converting to Islam.
I don't think it would take much, to be honest.
Nope, he's just going to have to read a couple of passages and be like, this just makes sense. This makes sense to me. I feel like he would convert to Islam to get a shot at Miriam, whatever he's got to do.
It's only a matter of time. They're going to have a lot to explain to Danielle's family, though, because they don't know anything about Islam, to the point that Samantha calls it Muslim. I don't know anything about Muslim.
You're the first Muslim I've ever met.
We do not consume any media. We do not read about other religions, nothing.
Well, to be fair, they weren't raised in a pagan household.
That's true. You know, not everyone can be as learned as Jasmine and be exposed to 8 different religions.
Maybe we should be asking more deep questions, like, what is your favorite color? To learn about Miriam and what she's trying to get out of this relationship.
This is a pretty serious conversation for a casual, why don't you come over and meet this person for the first time? They're really poking holes in what Dannielle and Garrick have set up here.
Garrick wants to get poking something else here. So that's going to do it for that conversation. The next day, it looks like we're having lady brunch because Garrick's got a bit of a migraine.
I guess this is a real thing that Garrick has going on repeatedly in his life, because remember, he didn't do that live the one week on Instagram because he had a migraine.
Maybe he had a migraine because Nathalia was yelling at him about Miriam being in his house.
I think he stayed home to sext.
No.
No.
He just wanted to get everybody out of the house so he could eat the rest of that baklava uninterrupted. But Dannielle is just so happy to finally be bonding with a sister wife.
She has never done something like this before, where it's just been her and the sister wife going on a outing together. I want to call it a date.
You almost did.
I almost called it a date. That's sad. It gets sadder because it becomes obvious that Dannielle does not have many, if any, friends.
When they were talking about baby shower plans, and Miriam was saying, yeah, you should invite people over, and Dannielle told her, I don't really have a lot of friends. The look that Dannielle shot across the table at Miriam after she said, I don't have a lot of friends, was so implicative that, would you be my friend? Please?
You're my only friend.
You're all I have now.
Oh.
It was sad.
It was sad. It also had the Mary thing going on, where we're going to find someone who I can have a friendship with, and then I'm going to say, marry my husband.
Please.
When maybe you could have just been friends.
and let that run its course and then go your separate ways. But I think Dannielle had bigger intentions, bigger purposes for this special friendship that she's cultivating here on this trip.
What do you think it is?
Of course it's to break things up. Of course it's to get rid of Nathalia.
Well, and she's really not that committed to this relationship because Miriam's like, would you guys give up pork for me?
Oh, well.
I was so uncomfortable that Dannielle was having such a hard time answering that question.
Who needs friends when you've got bacon? Am I right?
She's like, I don't know about that.
I like bacon too much. I'm sorry.
Maybe. I mean, maybe. We'll think about it. It's not off the table.
But we're not doing turkey bacon, though, because that's garbage. Then we get to the real meat and potatoes.
Talking about Garrick's meat and potatoes.
Whoa! Turns out Miriam's never been with a white boy.
And she never will be, is the feeling that I'm getting.
Well, when she said, I've never been with a white man, the look on Danielle's face was, you're not missing much. Like... It's nothing to write home about.
So she's nervous about this date with Garrick tonight. He has a migraine. He can't come out to lunch, but he will be just fine for the date this evening.
You think he's at home cranking his hog?
No.
He's pre-gaming before the date tonight.
Yeah, I think he couldn't handle the date if he didn't do something beforehand.
Yeah.
He's all backed up now. It's been months since he's been with Nathalia.
It's getting up into his brain. It's backlogging into his brain. It needs to be getting into her brain, but it's not. I like that Miriam called them out on how fast they move, too, because after like a month of talking, Garrick was already telling her that he loved her.
I thought she meant Dannielle was telling her that.
Okay. I get the feeling that it probably could have been both of them.
I don't think things are going to go well specifically because of this. They can't get away from moving fast. And Dannielle even sounds conflicted about it.
Well, because normally when Danielle's not on board, Garrick is moving fast. And then it's too fast for Dannielle. Now Dannielle is on board and Garrick's not really on board. And she wants him to move at Garrick's speed. And he's not. So she's hoping that she'll be able to kick him into high gear here if he gets horned up enough, taking her out on a date.
And she needs things to move faster because nothing has changed between her and Nathalia.
If anything, it's worse. It's only getting worse. Because, yeah, she's already closer to Miriam in the month that they've been talking than she is with Nathalia now. After the 4 months they've spent together, it's not a lot of time that's going on in these relationships at all.
No, and the translator app doesn't help.
It's a big barrier.
It's a barrier to communication. Plus, when you don't like each other, that's a bigger barrier to overcome.
Strikes 2 and 3.
I guess we'll see next episode if Garrick gets it in, but he's definitely going to try.
It doesn't seem like it goes well based on the preview that we saw. It seemed like he gets called out on some stuff, and he doesn't like that.
Nathalia called him out on things too, though, and he married her.
Well, I think that was on emotional and behavioral things that Nathalia was calling Garrick out on, where Miriam is calling him out on physical affection things. And I think that's Garrick's love language, is boning. So he's not going to take that well.
Next episode, potential sister wife Miriam sends mixed messages to Garrick. While Nathalia makes her feelings known, the Davises have a big decision to make after Jasmine's sleepover. Becky and Justin question their future with Yary.
They're still questioning their future with Yary. I thought it was pretty clear after this episode what we're doing. Back burner.
They're not going to give up that easily. They already sunk their claws in.
Yeah, once you've been on 2 or 3 dates, plus that breakup's going to be brutal. You're going to have Becky standing at the foot of your bed like the girl from The Ring. Her hair.
Justin smashing out some windows in a car outside.
Yeah, his own car, probably. He gets very confused. With a mouthful of food, too.
Thank you for listening. If you want to support us, the best way to do that is by subscribing to the podcast and leaving a review on Apple Podcast or Spotify.
Be sure to chat with us about the episode on our Discord channel by joining our Patreon, patreon.com/survivingpod.
Stay tuned, share with friends. See you next time.
Hi, this is Jonathan Fields, host of The Good Life Project, where each week I talk to listeners about investing in their future by increasing their own vitality. But when it comes to those financial goals, whether it be saving for a home renovation, growing your child's college fund, or travel, life can make it difficult to stay the course. By working with a dedicated Merrill advisor, you get a personalized plan and a clear path forward. Having the bull at your back helps your whole financial life move with you. So when your plans change, Merrill's with you every step of the way. Go to ml.com/bullish to learn more. Merrill, a Bank of America company. What would you like the power to do? Investing involves risk. Merrill Lynch, Pierce, Fenner & Smith Incorporated, registered broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, member SIPC.